So we've just finished a live call with a coach inside of BFM who scaled from 7K a month all the way up to $32,000 a month. And he's just sat there and he's provided well over an hour of just raw, unfiltered value on how he's doing this. In the main way he's doing it is through paid ads. But all the other things around that, the offer, these content, just free for all. There's 4 things that personally I think are huge takeaways for a coach that's maybe in a position where this client was and they want to get to that point using paid ads. Here's the 4 takeaways. Number 1, paid ads work when you work them. So we were in, I believe we were in about month 3 of running paid ads together. And the first 2 months went well. From the data that I have here that he mentioned, he spent 1K, collected 3K, contracted 6. And then month 2, he spent 1.5K, collected 10K, and contracted 11. And month 3, he spent 3K, so he doubled his budget that month, and he collected like 500. Like flat 500, not like 500K, 500, and contracted about 2.9. So luckily contracted at least what he spent. However, back to the point, paid ads work when you work them. In that 3rd month, he didn't work them. The months prior he did, had a huge return off them. In fact, he'd only spent £2,500 and collected, like physically in the bank, like not in the back burner, like thank you very much, this is now mine, it's in my hands, about £13,000. So more than a 10x on cash collected, which is huge. That's not normal by any stretch of the imagination. I know people pretend that it is, but it's not. That's absolutely fantastic. So how in month 3 did he not have that? In fact, he had the complete opposite. Well, he went on holiday, and when he went on holiday, he'd booked in a handful of calls for after he came back from holiday. And number 1, those people didn't show up because it's way too far out. Usually you want to try and book somebody within as quick as time possible, like 24 hours, 40 hours, like 72 hours, ideally within that time scope, not a week and a half, 2 weeks later, because people just don't fucking show up. So that's the first thing that he didn't do. The second thing was he didn't manage his VA well. He didn't manage her well, so she didn't manage the messages well. He was on holiday, not meant to be her, but she may as well be. And what I mean by that is 2 things. The speed of reply, that slowed down. So how quickly we get back to people, how quick we start conversations when a new person comes in, how quickly we take them along that flow, and how quickly we get them onto a call. Like, that's the first thing. It was slowing down massively, which again reduces how many people actually go through and book the friggin' call. The second thing was then the follow-ups, which follow-ups are key, especially when you're fucking running paid ads. She wasn't doing them. We jumped on, we looked at his data. Luckily he was tracking it. Most of you guys don't. He was. We jumped on, we could see that the reply rate obviously went down because she was taking a while to send out that initial message. But more importantly, the call offered and call booked percentages, they were dipping. And it was because she hadn't followed up in I remember like 4 or 5 days, which the protocol is not 4 or 5 days follow-up. The protocol is 24 hours. So what we actually did the month after that is we didn't take a step back. We went and spent even more money. So we moved from 3K, where he actually lost money that month, to spending around about 5K the next month. And he collected, I think it was like 14 or 15K that month. So that's the first lesson. Paid ads friggin' work when you work them. If you don't want to work them, if you want to take somebody through the conversation, if you don't want to fucking follow up, if you don't want to have content in place that actually nurtures somebody, if you don't want to take sales calls and practice that sort of shit, they don't work. But they work when you work them. That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 I think people can take away is start small, scale fast. If we look back at April, we spent $1,000, May 1.5, June 3, July 5K. But there was around about a month and a half prior to that where he actually only spent about £10 a day. So what does that work out to now? He spent £5,000 last month divided by 30. So over the course of the last couple of months, we went from spending £10 a day to about 160 quid a day on average. We don't want to throw everything at the wall instantly. Just because we've got some money in the bank doesn't mean that we need to go smash it. What's really important is that we start small, see if this is actually profitable, and then if it is profitable, then we start to double down. Because as we start spending more on an ad, as fatigue sets in, as people have started to see it multiple times, the return on ad spend is going to drop. So if it's not profitable at £10 a day, it ain't going to be profitable at £100 a day. But scaling fast is literally all down to the person in terms of their risk tolerance and their feelings towards that. One of the most important things that I think we've done together is sit and talk through these fears. Because for anybody that's not run paid ads before, going from nothing on your marketing spend to spending like £5,000 in a single month on your marketing and paid ads like only a few months later, it's a big fucking jump. Feels like a huge risk. So one of the most important things I think we've done is sit down and looked at the data and had logical, data-driven conversations, not emotional-driven conversations. Because when we think about our emotions and we're looking at these big numbers, we're like, fuck, shit, I would like to keep £5,000. Thank you very much. However, I would much rather have 15 grand. And if the data is telling me that if I keep doing this and I work the ads, not just expect them to fucking magically work, I actually put the energy into them, then great, I'm going to end up with that. So scaling it, it's all up here. It's looking at the data. It's not being emotional. It's looking at the data and moving forward logically. Is this actually fucking profitable, or am I just spunking cash up the wall? Number 3 is authenticity converts way higher than any script or any tactic that you want to fucking throw at it. So this client's ad, it's a basic follower ad where we're calling out the avatar, we're mentioning a pain and a goal, and then we're calling in an enemy, which in this case, the enemy that this coach has is young PTs that don't understand dad life. An enemy is so fucking important. An enemy can bring somebody together like that. It's like if you're speaking to somebody and you don't really vibe with them, and then all of a sudden they say, yeah, I fucking hate that person. You're like, God, I hate that person too. It's like all of a sudden we've built a relationship over a common enemy. That's what we're doing at the first part of this ad. What happens at about, I think, the 12, 13 second mark is his daughter runs in. And that's the authenticity of it. Because this coach is a dad and he works with dads. So having his daughter come in, which was literally unplanned, he picks her up and he carries on the ad while she's like staring at the camera and pulling funny faces. That authenticity fucking crushes. And that's why I think he's had an over 10x return, cash collected, where a lot of coaches struggle for a 2-3% return, 100% return, cash collected. That authenticity, you cannot write it sometimes. We can try and manufacture it. We can try and create the scenario. Like when we come to create the next ones, we're going to try and put those things in there and show that you live that dad life. But sometimes you just have a moment of magic. It works out, but the authenticity carries it through. A lot of the ads that I'm running right now, the ones that are working really fucking well is me sitting where I'm sat right now with a camera in my face, just chatting shit for like 30, 40 seconds, sending people to a school community, they sign up. There's no fancy editing. In fact, most of the ads that I run don't even have captions or any editing or cuss at all. But the authenticity comes through, and for this coach, it's resulted in a huge return on ad spend. So that's something to think about. And if you're not a dad and you have just a different niche, just think of the avatar that you're working with. And realistically, you should just fucking be yourself, because if you're not, that's going to come across. It's very apparent. You look awkward. You don't really flow. Just say what you think. Say what you feel. Share it. Show the authentic side. Build that connection with somebody. Number 4, the final takeaway And I'm so fucking happy that I ran through this, because I think what kills most fitness coaches' journey more than anything is mismanaged expectations. And I don't think it's fitness coaches' fault a lot of the time. I think it's the constant marketing of how easy it is to do silly little things like 10K months. Number one, nobody gives a fuck about 10K a month. It's just a fucking revenue number. That's it. Number two, it's not easy. It's fucking difficult. Name me another job that makes you 10 grand a month that isn't like a footballer or a personality or something like that. They're few and far between. We're talking about like doctors that have 20, 30 years of experience getting to making 10 grand a month. Like, it's a large amount of money. So I'm happy that you shared this, because everyone's fucking expectations are massively mismanaged. Even when we do onboarding calls, I try and kill everybody's expectations. I promise no Lamborghinis. And what he said was, growth is chaotic. And that's so fucking important, because everybody that comes through, their expectations are, this is going to be a breeze. I'm going to crush 10K months. I'm going to have it all together. I'm going to have it all figured out. And I asked him at the very end, I said, what was the point where you felt like you had this all figured out? What was that moment where you went from confused coach to, I've got this in the bag? And he looked and he went, I basically still don't. And I'm so fucking happy that he said that, because that's the answer that I wanted from him. I didn't want him to sit there and go, I figured it all out, and try and be fucking arrogant. I know Les is an authentic guy, and I know that he was going to tell the truth. And growth is chaotic. Nobody's ever got it all figured out. I sat and watched a business owner that does like 200K a month plus sit on a fucking Zoom call with another mentor that does like $1.5 million plus a month. And he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. His main acquisition model was ads. He didn't even know how to fucking run an ad. He just outsourced it 24/7. Like, to me, that's crazy. He didn't track any data. Like, he has none of his shit together. He's just pushing through it. It's chaos. It's messy. But guess what? The motherfucker does over 200 grand a month. This guy is doing over $30,000 a month. You're not going to have your fucking shit together. I'm still figuring this out as I go along. He's still figuring it out as I go along. Everybody ahead of you, it's chaos. They're figuring it out. In the chaos, though, you find comfort. Because when the chaos comes up, you diagnose the problem, you fix it, you move on to the next one. You diagnose the problem, you fix it, you move on to the next one. If you're in a position where you have it all figured out, or at least you think that you have it all figured out, I just want you to know that you are unaware of what your problem or bottleneck is. Because unless you have the whole fucking industry, like the max TAM, so the total addressable market, aka like everybody that you could potentially serve in your market, which if you're in fucking fitness coaching, we're talking like hundreds of millions, if not billions of people here, then guess what? You got a fucking problem, you got a bottleneck, you need to be fixing something. So if you're sitting there arrogantly thinking that you do have it all figured out, let me tell you, you fucking don't. Neither does this coach, neither does that other mentor I was talking about. Nobody has it figured out. Everybody's in chaos, and it's fucking fine. It's cool. Embrace it. This guy's a dad. He's running a business. He's got a missus. Holidays popping up here. Sales call here. Managing this person here. Client drops off here. Oh, another one goes. Somebody says no on a sales call. 5 people say yes. 3 people say no. It's chaos. And it's fine. It's called fucking running a business. Deal with it. These 4 things were the 4 things I think that a lot of people can take away as big value points. There was an ungodly amount of shit that I think he shared in that call that were massive takeaways. I was going to offer it out. However, I want to keep this inside BFM, because I think it's a big part of being in there and being inside the community, not just to whack it up on YouTube and give anybody access to it. If you're currently doing this by yourself and you'd like to sit and listen to some people that are maybe 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 10 steps ahead of you, and it would give you comfort knowing that, shit, this guy has problems. This is what he's doing. This is the thing that's worked, that hasn't worked. This is what he's going to go do next. This is what he thinks I should do. Jump inside BFM. There's going to be the call that I'm just talking about in there. There's going to be other people in there. You're going to be surrounded by other coaches that are maybe at the same level as you. Maybe some are just starting out. You maybe 1-2 steps ahead. And there's definitely going to be a lot of coaches in there that are way ahead of you. Like, probably more than you realize. The industry is massive and the potential is fucking even bigger. So below this video, if you thought that these 4 things were beneficial, this is the sprinkles on top of a big fat juicy cake. And the rest of the big fat juicy cake is inside the BFM. And if that sounds appealing to you at all, and you would like to either start or scale your online fitness business, click the link below this video, jump over, book your onboarding call with me, and let's get you moving forward. Because being surrounded by a community of coaches like this and everybody else that's on that call, there ain't nothing that drives you further, faster, quicker than being in that. I'll see you inside.